Thank you, Dr. Esper. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your testimony and your willingness to serve both in the past and in the future. I wish you well. I have to ask today about two items involving my home state of Mississippi, where we manufacture helicopters and also uniforms. And I mention this because it involves the industrial base, but also it involves items that our troops need. The first one is the Lakota training helicopter, which Airbus makes in Columbus, Mississippi. Now, in 2015, there was an award of Lakota helicopters. A contract dispute ensued, and those helicopters are being held up pending the court case. In 2017, the Appropriations Committee appropriated for 28 Lakotas, a separate matter entirely. And they gave clear directive language that instructed the Army to purchase the 28 Lakotas. Now, I brought this up in a previous hearing with Acting Secretary of the Army Robert Speer as to why this clear language by the Appropriation Committee and passed by the Congress had not been followed. And he said something to the effect it's all involved in a court case. Well, that's not true. There are 16 Lakotas from 2015 involved in a court case. Subsequent to that, this Congress ordered the Army to purchase 28 Lakotas. And that is not being held up in a court case. It sounds like an excuse to me. I want you to be aware of the detrimental impacts this situation is having on the industrial base, but also on Army pilot training. And I want to ask you, do you believe that the Army Secretary is required to follow clear and directive language expressed in legislation?
Yes, Senator, I do.
Okay. Are you familiar with this case?
I am a little familiar with the case, yes, sir.
Okay. Well, have I got it wrong at all?
Senator, I trust you have your facts accurately.
Okay. Well, if confirmed, will you do all in your power to expedite the contracting actions required and to issue a production contract as outlined in the congressionally enacted and signed into law FY Defense Appropriations Act?
Yes, Senator, if confirmed, I will certainly look into this issue, work it. I want to work closely with your office to resolve it as quickly as possible.
Okay. Well, we really do need to resolve it. Now, the other thing involves uniforms and treating the uniforms with insecticides. We've been doing this in Mississippi for years. They manufacture the uniform, then they put the insecticide on. Now, someone in their wisdom in the Department of the Army decided that we should treat the fabric first and then cut it and sew it into a uniform. I can tell you the people working at the plants don't like this because obviously you've got a chemically treated piece of fabric. You're cutting it and it gets out into the air that they breathe and becomes a problem. I cannot fathom why the Army would want to change an efficient and proven process that leaves no environmental waste, and that's to make the uniform, then treat it. If confirmed, will you get somebody to look into this issue and get back to us and try to make some sense out of that?
Yes, sir, for sure.
All right, good.